Did go to Europe for like 3 weeks and it was so much fun. Oh boy. I'm going to add my different habits. Actually, I can show you guys manifestation technique to help you get what you want. Hello guys, I'm so excited to be back. It's been a while, it's been a minute. Some of you probably know this because I posted it on my community tab, but I did go to Europe for like 3 weeks and it was so much fun. I'll talk a little bit about the trip, but this vlog is kind of just like getting back into my health habits and getting back into my routine. And I thought that I was going to be getting back into my routine a lot quicker than I did, and I'll talk about why that is. Let's get into it. I know some of you will have questions about my trip, so I just want to give a little brief overview of like where we went and what we did and everything. So we went to Italy and Switzerland and it was so much fun. Like, we had a really good time. I loved everywhere that I went, but we started off in Sorrento and we did like a whole thing where we saw the Amalfi Coast, Positano, Ravello. It was also beautiful. That was one of my favorite places for sure. And then we went to Rome and Florence. Both of those places were also so fun. Like, I literally loved every single place I went. So, but it was like a good little city vibe and the weather was like perfect. And then we went to Lake Como, which was like the destination that I was most excited about, and we stayed at like one of like the most amazing hotels ever. It's called Grand Hotel Tremezzo, and it's kind of like an iconic hotel, and we got like majorly upgraded too, so we stayed in this like incredible suite overlooking the water, and it was just so beautiful. That was definitely my favorite spot on the trip for sure. And at Lake Como, that's where we actually had some friends meet us. They were going to France and they decided to come to Lake Como first and meet us there. So we hung out the whole time. So that was really fun. And then we went up to Switzerland and we went to Lucerne, Switzerland, which was super beautiful. And the second day we actually went to this hotel called Bergenstock Resort. We just got like a half-day spa pass, and you guys have to look up this hotel. It's like one of the best spas in the world. It's like iconic, and you have to like take this boat to get there and go up this cogwheel train up the mountain, and it takes you to this magnificent spa where there's this like heated infinity pool that's like warm, and it's overlooking the like entire just beautiful landscape. It's just so amazing. The whole spa was incredible, but that was definitely like one of the highlights of my trip for sure. And then we headed to Bern for a day, and then we went to Grindelwald, which is by like Interlaken, and that's where we actually kind of changed our plan and our itinerary a little bit, because when we were in Grindelwald, that's when we were supposed to do all of like the more adventurous stuff. We were supposed to go paragliding, which I was really excited about, and we were supposed to go like up these mountains to like go on these like really scenic like hikes and walks and things like that. But when we got there, it was like totally socked in by clouds and raining, and so our paragliding was obviously canceled, and then to go up the mountain was useless because it was just completely socked in by clouds. So there wasn't that much to do there, and it kind of like put a wrench in our plans. So I was talking to Cole, we were, you know, having dinner at the hotel, and I was like, let's go to London. Like, this is the last 2 days of our trip. I want to have fun. Let's reroute and go to London. Like, one of my best friends lives there. London's one of my favorite places in the world. My husband loves London. I was like, let's go to London. Like, I know we already prepaid the rest of this trip, but let's just do it. And so that is what we did. We tried to change our flight, and for some reason British Airways wouldn't let us change our flight to go to London. It didn't make sense. So we tried to get on the phone with British Airways, because that was our airline, and like change our flights, because London was where we were doing a layover anyways, like to get home to Nashville. And we're like, perfect, we'll just go there early and then we'll catch our second flight, you know? And British Airways was like, no, 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 you can't do that for some reason. They're like, if we're gonna cancel your flight to Nashville if you do that, if you go to London, or like if you take another flight to London. So that was really frustrating. And basically Cole and I were like, well, we're going to go to London. Like, this is just what's happening and we're gonna make it work. So even after they told us that it wouldn't work. So we woke up early in the morning, got a train, or not a train, we got a car to Zurich, to the Zurich airport, and we just showed up. We didn't have a flight, we didn't have anything, we didn't have a hotel booked in London. We just showed up and we walked up to the counter and we're like, we want to go to London today. Here's the info and here's why this is complicated, but we want to go to London today. And they made it work, which it shouldn't have been a big deal, but I don't know, for some reason, British Airways, like the customer service was not good. But the lady at the front made it work. We got on a flight. While we were on our flight, our travel agent, which we've never used a travel agent, by the way, until now, and oh my God, it was like totally worth it. She got us all these upgrades, like just told us about the most amazing hotels, and it was like barely any money. So we only paid $250 for her to work for us, but the way that they get paid is that they get paid on the back end through the hotels. So you don't really pay them that much, but they create like this whole itinerary for you and everything. And they were so helpful. Like, I totally recommend them. I can leave the link for the travel agents that we used because they are Nashville based, but it's just like they can work with anyone. I mean, we did it over Zoom, so you don't like have to be based in Nashville. But anyways, so then we got to London, we checked into our hotel, and we were only there for 2 days, but it was wonderful, amazing to be back in London, amazing to see my best friend, and then we came home. So it was a wonderful little trip. It was just like such a good time, and it was great to be able to spend like so much quality time with Cole, and yeah, but I am happy to be back. So it was a wonderful trip, but this past month has just been high highs and lows, and like I said, I wanted to like get back into my routine, get back into my habits, get back into filming a lot sooner than this. But, so I'm gonna give a little bit of a life update. Okay, so you guys know that, well, probably if you see my vlog set, I had 2 dogs. So Piper is the dog that you always see in the background of my videos. She like likes to be back there. And then I had Bo, who we just had to put down a few days ago. Well, last week. Oh boy. It's a lot harder than I thought it'd be. So 2 days before our trip, I decided to last minute take Bo into the vet because he was just kind of acting a little bit weird. Like nothing crazy, but he just seemed a little bit off, kind of a little bit tired, and also he had a weird moment where like, I don't know, he just seemed confused. So I just decided to take him in because we were leaving, and they were like, oh, he's very anemic. I guess his gums were like very pale. I didn't realize. And so that's why he was like tired and kind of wonky. They're like, I'm pretty sure he's having internal bleeding. So they like took him back there. They did like a, I don't know, ultrasound or something like that. They wanted to look for like tumors. And he had a tumor in his spleen, and they told us like it's probably not good. But they told us to go rush to this like emergency vet that had like some other sort of tool, or I don't know what it was, something else, to see if it had spread. So then we went over there, and it had spread to his liver, which is not which was not a good sign. So basically what they're saying is like if the tumor was just in the spleen and there was like no like it hasn't, what's the word, metastasized or something, well, you know, whatever. But if it's spread, if it hasn't spread, then they could take out the spleen and then he could make a full recovery. But apparently that was like really, really rare. So I guess this type of dog cancer, I guess it's quite common in like golden retrievers and German shepherds, but it's like very quick and very aggressive. And yeah, so it had spread and the tumors were rupturing and causing like internal bleeding, I guess. I mean, I think that's what was going on. So he was acting a little funky, and yeah, so they were basically like, it's just end of life care at this point. And they were like, you can do chemo. And you know, I don't really want to do that, but I was like asking like, what's the, like, how much longer do you get if you do chemo? And they were like, well, maybe like 3 months. I'm like, okay, I'm not putting my dog through chemo for 3 months. Like, that's crazy. So it was basically end of life care at that point, and it was very difficult because this literally happened 2 days before we were supposed to go on this huge trip to Europe, which Cole and I have been planning for like years. Like we've been wanting to do this for years, and this wasn't something that we were like doing on the cheap. Like this was like a trip that we were investing in, you know, like sometimes we do cheap ones and sometimes we spend a lot of money, and this was one where we were spending a lot of money and we were comfortable with that, and we had already paid for everything at that point. So first we were looking into seeing if we could cancel our trip, or like, you know, maybe reschedule it to another point, like maybe in the fall. And we did have trip insurance, but it obviously didn't cover like animal emergencies, so we weren't gonna get any of our money back. So basically, like, we had to go, and we wanted to go, but we didn't want to leave him. Like, it was really sad, and we had no idea of how long he'd be around. Like, the vet was like, it could be a few days, it could be a week, it could be 3 months. Like, we don't know. And so that was incredibly hard to leave him because we didn't know if he would be here when we got back. I'm kind of ranting on and on about this, but we did have this amazing house sitter who took amazing care of the house and our dogs, and especially Bo. And but it was really hard because during the whole trip, like, I of course was thinking about him the whole time, but also we set up little like dog cams downstairs where they normally like hang out and sleep. And so whenever my house sitter would go to work, she'd plug in those little dog cams so that I could watch them. And so I was like, you know, probably every few hours, especially in the beginning of this trip, I was like, you know, turning on my Furbo and seeing like what Bo was up to. And in the beginning he seemed okay, he was just sleeping a lot, and then he started really biting his leg, and it was clearly very itchy. It didn't seem to be in pain at all, and he didn't have any like masses over there, like tumors over there, so I didn't think it was a pain thing. It just seemed really, really itchy. And I was watching him on the camera, and he was just like biting his leg and like pulling hair off, and I was like, oh my god. So this was at night, this was when we were in Rome, and it was like midnight Rome time, and I was on the phone with the vet like, please, like, I really need something for my dog. He's just like biting himself, like he's so uncomfortable, he's clearly so itchy, like I need something that's like anti-itch. Like, I don't care how healthy or unhealthy it is, he just needs to be he just needs to feel comfortable. I was able to pay for that over the phone, and then have my house sitter like pick it up and give him the medicine. And then once he got the medicine, he was so much better. Like, his skin was so much better. He started to get some of his energy back, and he, like, basically the rest of our trip, he was doing really well. And luckily he was there when we got back. He was doing really well when we got back. But yeah, so that was hard, like on that trip, us being on like the trip of our lives, but at the same time, like, kind of wanting to go home. Yeah, so then we got home and he was good, and he was pretty good for the next like week or so. He'd have some weird moments here or there where he'd get like extreme lethargy, but then he'd be like okay, or he'd get these weird moments where he like couldn't walk, but it would be very short-lived. He would like wouldn't want to walk for like an hour, but then the next hour he'd be like gallivanting in the backyard. So it was very confusing, but for the most part he was like pretty good and very happy and pretty comfortable. And then just last week he started kind of, I don't know, like not doing as well. And we woke up on Wednesday last week and he didn't want to get up, he didn't want to move. He couldn't stand. Like, he'd try and he couldn't stand. Like, something with his back legs, he like couldn't use them properly. He was like very wobbly. Cole carried him out to go to the bathroom, and he like almost wouldn't even go, but he eventually did. And then he carried him back inside, and his eyes were even doing weird stuff. Like, Cole laid him down on the ground and his eyes were like, you know, like going all over the place. So he was clearly like dizzy. And then he wouldn't eat and he wouldn't drink. And you know Goldens, like, they will eat anything. So that was like a very clear sign to me that it was kind of like happening and it was time. And he didn't get better all day. Like, he didn't snap out of it. Also, I had a dream the night before that I was saying bye to him, and I never had a dream like that before. So that kind of like was a sign to me. And I also like tried to like ask him if he felt like it was time, and it seemed like a yes to me. So we ended up putting him down that night, but it was really nice because someone came to our house and did it here. So that was good. It was like very comfortable with him, for him. And he finally did eat right before this happened, because we gave him vanilla ice cream, and of course he would eat that. But he literally got put to sleep eating vanilla ice cream. So he was very, very happy until his last breath. So it's just very hard because Bo was like my first real dog. I got him when I was 21, almost 22. I got him like 2 weeks after graduating college. And so he was basically like with me through just my whole 20s and like entering my adulthood era. And we really like grew up together, and I think we lived in like 6 different places together. Like he really bounced around a lot with us through LA and Orange County and Nashville and everything. So yeah, so that's kind of, that's what's also been happening. Anyone who is like a big dog person like me knows that like this sucks. I know some people are not as like, they just don't care about animals as much. Like it's just, that's fine, that's fine. But I love dogs. I still have Piper, who's laying right there that you can't see. So that was incredibly sad. Lots of grieving for sure. Cole also had a really hard time because they were very close as well. But I believe that I will see him one day again. I'm getting kind of hungry, so I'm gonna heat up my lunch and then I'll continue on with what I'm saying. What I was saying earlier was that like I was planning on coming back from my trip, taking a few days to kind of like rest and resettle and then get back to it, get back into filming. I wanted to film this vlog like 2 weeks ago, but then just with everything with Bo and him not doing well and, you know, having to put him down, I clearly did not do that. I'm sure that you guys can relate to this, but whenever something feels just like heavy or you are like mentally or emotionally struggling with something, it's obviously a lot harder to like stick to your habits and be productive, and sometimes you just need time to be. So that's what I did. I took a little bit of extra time. If your mental health isn't good, it makes doing everything 10 times harder. And I think that one of the best things you can do to like have good habits, be healthy, be productive, and I know I've mentioned this in another video, this is like one of the cheat codes to life, is by being in a good headspace and having good energy. Like it changes everything. So I know I needed a week to just be and be sad and maybe cry a little bit. That's what I needed, but it's time to get back into it, get back into a better mental space and move forward. And one way I plan on doing this is by connecting with my therapist on BetterHelp, who is kindly sponsoring this video. BetterHelp is an online therapy platform that connects you to a licensed therapist who is trained to listen and give you helpful, unbiased advice. So how you do it is first you go to their site. You can use my link, betterhelp.com/Jillz. You just answer a few questions and BetterHelp will do their thing and match you to a professional who has experience helping people with what you specifically need help with. Something that I love about BetterHelp is that you can do it all from your phone or your computer, and it's completely up to you how you want to do it. You can either do video calls, phone calls, or just message them, whatever you're comfortable with, and it just makes it easy. Let BetterHelp connect you to a therapist who can support you all from the comfort of your own home. Visit betterhelp.com/Jillz. The link for that is down below, or you can just click Jillz Guerin during the sign up, and when you do that, you'll get a special discount off your first month. Okay, so now I'm going to show you guys like how I am kind of reorganizing and like setting up my Notion for my habits. I just kind of have to show you, so let me get into it. Okay, so I have my computer in front of me and my Notion up. You guys know that I love Notion and it's how I like organize my entire life. And I have a page in here that's like my weekly habit tracker. So I'm gonna be filling that out to kind of like get everything started for me, make it clear for me with like what I want to do and what I want to hold myself accountable for. So I have this weekly habit tracker page and I just press new week and then it will start with a new week, and then I'll fill out all the habits that I want to add. And just by the way, in case you want my whole Notion template too, you can purchase it on my website. So it's up there in case you want to check it out. So I'm going to add like my different habits that I want to get back into. So, and I'm gonna go through these habits throughout the rest of this vlog. So I'm not gonna explain them all in detail here. I'm just gonna write them all down. So the first one is scripting. And I always add a little emoji. And the goal is like how many times you wanna do it a week, because there's like a little status bar here. I'll show you. So basically it's Tuesday. Sunday, Monday is already done for. No success there. So I'm not counting that. So there's 5 days for the rest of the week and I want to do it every day. So when you check it off, it like fills up the status marker. I really love that. I think it's satisfying. So the other habits are walk outside, for sure, even though it is hot, hot, hot out right now. That is every day too. And then workout, that's different from walking outside usually. Sometimes my workouts will be a walk outside. These I want to do like more gentle strength training. I am in my luteal phase, so it needs to be kind of gentle for me. I'm only gonna do it twice this week because again, I am about to get my period. And then another thing that I want to do is face massage. I've been doing this off and on for like 6 months probably with Anastasia Beauty Fascia, just like her free video on Instagram or TikTok, but I haven't been consistent with it and I really want to be consistent with it. I want to wake up and do it every single day. I've been okay with it. Like I'll do it for a week and then I'll stop and whatever. So I want to try to be more consistent with it. And then read. I don't really care how long I read for, as long as I read for a little bit, whether it's 5 minutes or 2 hours, it doesn't really matter to me. It's more about the consistency of doing it. If I pick up a book and I read for 10 minutes and I really don't want to continue, then I'm not meant to continue and I won't. Meditation, I just want to do a quick one, like 10 minutes in the morning after waking up. I'll do 4 for this. I like to do it more Monday through Friday and not during the weekend. And then also sauna. I feel like I have some stuff to detox, not gonna lie. I'm gonna do sauna, get back into it. I'll talk about that all later, so don't worry. I'm probably gonna do this once this week. I don't like to do too much sauna in the summer because it just makes me too hot. The last 2 is I'm trying this red light mask and I want to be consistent with it. I want to try it every single day to see if it helps me or not because I can't tell if I'm only doing it irregularly. So I'm going to put that on here so that I don't forget. Then lastly, exfoliate, because I always forget to exfoliate my face. It's just my skin is so much better when I do it regularly. So I try to do it every Sunday and Thursday, and that's kind of the way that works best for me. But if I don't put it on here, I weirdly forget. So I'm putting it back on here because obviously with the trip and everything, I wasn't like following my normal schedule and I'm gonna need a little bit of help putting it back on. So I did already do this on Sunday. So just one more time this week. I have to put an emoji, butterfly. I always have to have an emoji with everything. I think that's basically it. The only other thing is like, of course, I'm going to be a lot more strict about my diet because when I was in Europe, I just basically ate whatever I want and it was a blast, but I need to really dial that back. But I'm not putting that on here because one, that's not really something that's too hard for me. It's not something that I have to like hold myself accountable for. Like I just want to. My habit tracker is kind of just stuff that I need to hold me accountable for, right? But then also I did make a little bit of a change to my food, which makes it easier. So I'll talk about that because my lunch is ready now anyway. So time to eat. Oops. This is really delicious. I'm having a Greek chicken orzo bowl. So basically what I was saying is that like my food is a lot easier now. I don't have to plan it out so much because we actually got someone to help with meal prep. They basically meal prep lunch and dinner for us 4 days a week. So like it helps so much. We've been wanting to do this for a while, but we were on a wait list for like 8 months or something, 7 months, 6 months, I don't know. But we finally started this last week and the food has been phenomenal and it just makes lunch and dinner during the week so much easier. So we're still cooking the other 3 days or maybe going out on like a date night once a week. And I'm still doing my breakfast and I meal prep my breakfast. So I'll show you what I do for that. But this has just made everything so much easier. This will just really help me be a little bit more flexible during the week so I can put more of my attention towards my goals and the things that I want to do and, you know, my work and also exercising and I don't know, just enjoying the summer. I just really feel like this was needed. Cole and I have just been really, really busy lately and I'm so glad we did this 1 weekend and I am loving it, let me tell you. Okay, so I'm gonna show you guys my breakfast meal prep that I did for myself on Sunday. And this is kind of what I do. It really helps me just like get the day going. So let me make this higher. There we go. So basically what I did is I love oatmeal. I love eating oatmeal in the morning. So that's like really easy to meal prep because you can just put it in a container put it with milk. I did this kind from Whole Foods. It has good ingredients. And so basically I have this little meal prep container. It has a little divider down the middle, and I put the oatmeal in. I put like half a scoop of oatmeal, or half a cup of oatmeal, half a cup of this, and then I top it off with berries, blueberries and raspberries and cinnamon. And then I just stick it in the fridge. But on this other side, that's where I put my protein. So I can't do eggs. Eggs don't make me feel good, and they kind of bring back some health issues for me if I eat them every morning, even though they are such a good protein source, but not for me. So I actually cooked myself a ribeye on Sunday, and I chop it up and I put it on this side. So I don't do too much, just a little bit on here. And then I also have this smoked salmon that they sell at Whole Foods. It's just the smaller kind, and I take a few pieces of this in the morning. So I do, my protein for the morning is a mix of smoked salmon and my already meal prepped ribeye, and then I do my oatmeal. And again, it's kind of weird because it's just mixing a bunch of things, but it really helps me like start off the day with like a good breakfast and something that really like balances my blood sugar. It keeps me full for a while. Like if I just do the oatmeal, I get hungry in like an hour and a half or 2 hours. But with all of this, I'm good for like 4 hours or so. So this is just a good start to my morning, and that's what I've been doing. So now that I have my breakfast meal prepped by me, and then we have the lunch and dinner meal prepped by our meal prep person, it's just made food so much easier, and I just feel like I have so much more time in my day, and it's really quite wonderful. So that's why I don't have the food on like my healthy habits, because this is just really easy for me now. Yeah, like I don't need to put it on there. So let's go sit down in my office. So let's talk about scripting. So scripting is a manifestation technique to help you get what you want. And I do it off and on. I've never done it like consistently, but I really want to get back into it again. I don't know if I'll do it forever, but I'll do it again for a period of time. I really do feel like it helps. Basically, scripting is you write what you want and like how you want to feel, everything that you want, but you write it all down as if it's already happened. So you say like, you know, I am so healthy, I'm completely healed, I feel so good in my body, you know, like I have so much energy, I'm exercising 5 days a week and it feels amazing. Or I make $10,000 a month and it's so easy. Money just comes to me. I always make enough money every month. You can write whatever you want, it's up to you. That's kind of the gist of it, is you just kind of write down everything that you want, but as if it's already happened. That is the important point. And I actually got this notebook from Florence. It's so beautiful. It's just classic, but beautiful. And it's by this brand where all their stuff is made in Florence. I don't know how to say this brand, but this is it right here. But they have really cute like luggage and backpacks and things, and also stationery and notebooks. And I got this from there, and I looked at this, I was like, this is perfect for my scripting. I'm gonna get this. I have done it a few times since coming back, but I have not done it consistently. So that's what I'm gonna do. So what I love to do is, the first thing that I like to do before I start like working for the day is I sit here at my desk and I turn on classical music from my phone, and then I sit and then I write a page. So I just write whatever gets filled out in this page. I also put the date at the top too. The date that is today, just so I can keep track of when I'm writing this, because I like to look back and see. So I'm gonna get to that. This is what I like to listen to on Spotify. Beautiful, calming, classical music. Now that I wrote that, it really only takes like 10 minutes or less. It doesn't take that long. What I do is I open it up. I don't just write it, but then I read it. So I read it and I really try to like feel what I'm reading. I'm not just reading it, I'm feeling what I'm reading. And I like try to like channel and embody this energy, because I do a mix of like things that I want that are like, you know, external things versus feelings that I want to have. So I have kind of like a mix of that, and I think that's the key to making this really work for you. So I really try to like go back, read this, and just feel it, and then I carry this feeling with me throughout the rest of the day. And that's it. So I need to work now. I need to write. I really need to work on my next video. Some of the videos that I do, I just talk, and some of them I write out in advance. It depends on the type of video. You know, like some things are much more casual, and then other videos are like, welcome to class. You are getting taught today. And the video that I'm doing next is like, welcome to class. So I have to write this one out. And I've already started a bit, and it has not been easy. This is one of the hardest videos I've had to write. I don't know, it could just be because I'm about to get my period and sometimes my thoughts aren't as clear, but I don't know, it's been quite the challenge. So maybe I should have started with like another video that was easier, but I've had this video idea for like 6 months, and I've just had like a bunch of notes for it on my phone for so long. So I really just want to do it. It's like about manifesting and stuff. So I hope that it turns out good in the way I want it to, but I don't know, we're gonna find out. So I'm gonna go somewhere and go work on that. I've been like at home all morning, so I want to change up my environment and probably go somewhere else for like 2 hours or so and just 100% focus on writing. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go somewhere to go work, and then I'm gonna get back to like my personal stuff and like doing my habits, but this is an important habit too. I like my YouTube channel. Actually, I can show you guys. We redid our backyard this like winter, spring. It took a while. I think it's done now. It's like 99.9% of the way done. We added a fountain, but it's broken, so that's not working right now. But I'm gonna show you guys our backyard. So we added like this little fire pit area right here and this whole garden area. So this fountain is totally gross. It's broken. We need to get it fixed. It was nice when it was working, but it's not. And we have this whole garden area, this whole little sitting area over here. We kind of have it like Italian style, but it's just really nice, very soothing out here. I'll be back in a little bit, all right, sweetheart? You can take your little afternoon nap, okay? Okay, does that sound good? Yeah. Wait, where am I going? I think I need to figure that out first. Okay, so sorry if it's a little wobbly. I don't have a camera holder for my car. I feel like that might be something I should get. But I was just thinking, whenever you come back from vacation, or at least I feel this way, I feel like it's such an everything's fine. I feel like it's such an easy time to like reinvent yourself and start new habits, like because you were already taken out of your routine and you already have to get back into it, and you might as well just like, you know, really do it, like really change it up. And I don't know, I feel like traveling always unlocks this part of me, especially like something that's like over a week long at least. You know, sometimes just like a weekend trip here and there, maybe not so much, but like real traveling where you're going far and for quite a while, like I feel like it unlocks this part of us that allows us to like step into another version of ourselves. Okay, Piper and I are gonna go for a walk. We're going to achieve that walk outside habit. And it's actually a little bit cooler today, so I'm really happy about that. Let's go for a walk. Let me get my headphones, hold on. Okay, so I just got back from a walk with Piper and I am going to work out and then sauna. So we have a beautiful sauna. I love it. I just turned it on. Doesn't take that long to warm up in the summer, but I want to show you this little setup that I made for it. It's super cute. Have our little towel station. These are just like cheap towels from Amazon that we roll up, and then we have this little laundry hamper for the dirty towels. We have like a little system here and it works out so well. But yeah, this is kind of our little gym wellness setup right here.
Stretching that energy this side is a little harder for me. 5, 4, 5 more. Supposed to heal for 5. Appreciate you all so much. I love when we're able to come together live.
My sauna is like perfect temperature. See, that worked out amazingly. So I'm gonna get in there. It's a great thing to do like after a walk or after a workout too, but I'm gonna take this supplement. It's called Takasumi. It's basically like a binder. It's kind of like activated charcoal. So this is a great thing to take. According to the person that I see, he always says to take this because it helps like when your body's doing like the detox process. This helps to like draw out the impurities and stuff like that. So I always take 3 of these before I get in the sauna, but you can't have these around food or medication. So I'm gonna get in the sauna. I'm also going to, I love to use the sauna to read because I'm usually in there for 30 minutes and I usually end up reading for 30 minutes anyways. So I'm going to bring this book with me. I'm a little more than halfway done and I'm really, really liking this book. I really like it. So I'll link it down below for you guys just in case you want to check it out. I love habit stacking just to save time. So like the sauna and I read at the same time. And then I do this little mask and then I meditate at the same time. So I'm kind of like getting my habits done in a more efficient manner. It just makes it a lot more achievable and easier to do. So that was my day-to-day. I think I checked off all my habits except for the face massage, which I only do that in the morning. So if I miss it in the morning, I just don't do it. But so I'm going to start that again, pick it back up tomorrow. I really do think it helps like sculpt your face a little bit. I'll put the link to like the Instagram of the girl that I follow, and I just follow her 10-minute everyday tutorial. It's just pinned to the top of her Instagram, so you'll see it there. It's really easy, and I wake up and I do it right after brushing my teeth before I do really anything else. That's what I'm gonna do tomorrow. But this was my day. I hope you enjoyed following along with me, getting back into my routine, getting back into life after a month of high highs and low lows. So I promise I'll be back next week with like a normal sit down video. But if you did stay until the very end, of course, know that I appreciate you. This is probably a long vlog. So if you did stay until the very end, leave your favorite green emoji so I know. And again, thank you to BetterHelp for sponsoring today's video. The link for that discount is down below in the description in case you want to check them out. Also, just want to say thank you so much for being patient with me while I was gone this past month. I really, really appreciate it. And I will see you next time in my next video. Love you guys. Bye.